Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first workshop for Programming League National 2024. I'm Chai Lee and I'm your MC for today. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to extend my appreciation for your presence today. Before we begin our first lot for today, I would like to briefly introduce our speaker, Mr. Sam Wei Hong, who is currently a third-year data science student. In his recent experience, he has been working with C++, Java, JavaScript, Python, SQL, and TypeScript. He has achieved champion in PLN 2023 for open category and champion in PLN 2022 for closed category. In addition, he is the champion in Coordination 2023 for open category. Without further ado, let's start with our first lot for today with a little introduction to what exactly is Introduction to Competitive Programming. We are pleased to welcome Mr. Sam Wei Hong to deliver his talk. Mr. Sam, the spotlight is yours.
All right. But before that, can you allow me to share the screen? Hello. Hi, can you hear me? I think I faced
Mr.
some
Hong.
difficulties in sharing the screen because now it says that only the now I can share already, right? Please give me some time. Right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, Mr. Sam.
Yes.
Can proceed.
All right. So since it's the ice-breaking session, let me perform some ice-breaking in the start of our workshop today. So before we start, we'd like to ask you all, are you guys participating in a PLN 2024? If it's so, you can type a yes in the chat. Let's see how many of you actually participating in the contest. All of you are just coming for fun, is it? Coming for, and listen to the story of the PLN, right? Yeah. Okay, we see two of you is participating in PLN. So from this I can see I will be much easier into this year contest because only three contests no, 3 contestants, right? Okay, good. Let's continue in our workshop today. So like what I said just now, our workshop topic today is about the introduction to CP. And there's a subtitle here. Is it too late to learn about CP now? You see, how many weeks away are we from the start of our preliminary round for the PLN? I think around 3 weeks only, right? But we are only getting the introduction of the CP today. So do you think that it's too late or it's still capable to catch out the progress and get a champion? So in today's workshop, you know about it. So let's see what are the specifics will be discussed in the workshop today. So first, we'll learn about me. Who is this speaker speaking here? And then in the second session, which named as the session 1, we'll learn about have a global perspective of the competitive programming. So what is competitive programming? And then what is the contest in Malaysia? And what is the condition of the competitive programming in Malaysia? Is everyone in the Malaysia know about competitive programming? How can we push this further so that more people is interested, right? And then the third one, this one is the most interesting one. We'll have a mini contest to test your skills. So if you are interested in this, you can prepare a Core Forces account. And then later in this session, you can join our contest. There are only one problem in the contest. And I think you can solve it in 5 minutes if you are an experienced programmer. Even if you are a beginner, just 10 minutes are enough, right? So if you want your name to be shown in our workshop today, then it's a very great chance for you to join this mini contest. And then next one, the session 2, micro CP. This is the part that I think most people here are most interested with. Why? Because in this micro CP, I will tell you exactly what is it to do CP in the contest. Like what are the strategies to ensure that you can win in the contest? Not ensure, but maximize your chance of winning. And then what are the tips, how you should practice? All of this will be discussed in this session. So if you miss this session, I would say it will be very hard for you if you are a beginner to join the PRN this year, right? And then at the end, we'll have the Q&A session because you might have many problems about this CP workshop. So later we'll provide you a Slido link in the chat. So when you have problems, right, you just directly enter your questions inside the Slido link, so that in the end of our workshop, we will be solving your issues, right? So next, let me introduce myself. I'll do a really good introduction just now. So my name is Wei Hong. I consider myself as a competitive programming hobbyist, not professional, just a hobbyist. So how hobbyist am I? I got a champion of I think most of the competitions in the last few years, like the closed category of the PLN 2022 and open category of the PLN 2023. So hopefully this year is my final year of joining of the PLN. So hopefully I can add another role here. Okay. And then the Code Nation 2022, another CP contest in Malaysia. And then also another one from the Monash University. Right. So later we'll also learn about what are these contests, what is their the characteristics. So like, because each contest will have some kind of strategies, so you can more easier to win, right? Okay, so hopefully you got an understanding about me. So now we will enter our session 1 today, which is about the macro CP, the macroeconomics. I want to view this competitive programming from a the high level perspective first. Like we need to know about what is CP before we join the CP, right? And about ICPC. What is ICPC? You see, you got an I and C at the front and the back of the CP. What does it mean? And what about the CP in Malaysia? You see, do you think that the CP in Malaysia is well informed enough? So today we will see, right? Right. So our first question today, competitive programming, right, is about solving problems. So the first problem we are facing today is, what is CP? It's not about copy pasting the solution from the internet using the C++, getting the champion, or finding a couple. So in today's workshop, right, all of this might be the answer. But for today's workshop, CP means what? Competitive programming. What is that? The competitive. What is the part that shows the competitive? You need to outperform others, other contestants, by solving the problems more quickly or more efficiently than them. Right? Then only you can become a champion. If you solve the problem more slowly, then why should I choose you as a champion, right? And the programming, everyone know what is programming, right? It's about writing code. See, very simple. So if you can write code, and then you can outperform others, that CP is not an issue for you. But it's simply thought. Later you see how hard it is to implement, right? But here there is some kind of the weakness, like what is the problems I'm going to solve with CP? Like, there are other kinds of contests, right? What are the other kinds of contests? Like in the past few months ago, the UM also have another event known as the UM Hackathon. So the hackathon, right, is like about you got an idea to solve the business problem provided by the sponsors or the organizers of the hackathons. Then you need to you create a UI, create some kind of the functionalities, to build a software and then pitch it. So that people like the software, they want to buy it, right? So this one is more focused on the software development, right? You need to connect to the database, do some UI, place some button on the screen. So this one is, if you are doing the SEA, hackathons are a very good chance for you, to enhance your skills in developing a software. Then what about those CSN students, the computer system one? The networking students, you can try the contest known as the Capture the Flag, which is a cyber security competitions. Like you need to exploit, the weaknesses in the other system so you can get some kind of the flag inside their system. Or if you are more interested in the game development, then it's also possible to join the game jam. I think the Pokemon is going to host its first game jam in history. So if you're interested, you can also stay tuned for the event, right? Then what is the difference of the CP compared to these three events? So CP, right, is about solving the algorithmic problems. Algorithmic problems. So what kind of algorithms? Let's see some sample problems. Right. So you can see this is two sample problems that I picked from the world finals, the most world-class competition, right? So you can see the problem Y and the problem Z. Like, can you read the problem? Like, just from reading the problem, you already know that it's very difficult, right? Like, you don't even know how to spin the wheel, how to flip some lever, and then this kind of the compression, they got some kind of the algorithm. So these are some kind of the algorithms I mean is CP. So if you are going to join the CP, right, what the problems you are solving are similar to this. Of course, not so hard because it's what Malaysia contest, not the world class world finals contest. So rest assured. So the problem why, although it looks hard, right, it's actually the most simplest problem in the finals for the 46 was level of the ICPC World Finals. And the problem Z is the most hardest. Why I say it's the most hardest? Because in a contest, right, no contestant in the contest can solve this problem in a given time, right? So let's continue. So in CP, right, of course, we need to do what? Programming, it's literally in the title already. So what are the languages we're going to use? So you see, everyone knows the three languages, the most popular languages. Like for people, students in the University Malaya, they know about Java. Why? Because their programming courses are taught in Java. Then for those, the data scientists, AI machine learning guys, they don't like to use the Python. But for competitive programming, right, there are another, it might be not less well known in Malaysia, it's the C++, right? But you can compare the three, the codes, because it's the same logic, but I write it in three different codes. So what you see, in the Java, right, it's the most longest one. So Java, right, the characteristic, right, is a very verbose language. What you need to write, if you want to create the hash map, then you need to do what? Hash map, integer, equal to new hash map. But in C++, it's just an unordered map frequency. You don't need to put that new hash map. Everyone knows you're going to put a new hash map. I don't know why you want to put a new hash map, right? In CP, not in SE, okay? And the Python, so the Python is known for what? It's simplicity. So what kind of simplicity? In the C++, you might need to, calculate the frequency of each element. But for the Python, you see, you use the counter, you stuff the array in. Then you got all the frequencies already. You see, just one line, you can, replace the two lines or even three lines in other languages. So in competitive programming, what are the languages you want to use? Like you want to compete for PLN, right? The three people just now. What are the languages you want to use? See, maybe you can type your preferred language, your favorite language in the chat. See, so to see which one you got the highest popularity. Or someone they want to use another language other than this, the C++, Java, Python. They just want to use what? JavaScript. Come on. From the start of my CP until now, I never see, people use JavaScript in the CP contest. Although it's not just another word script behind the Java, but it's a completely different thing with JavaScript, I mean, compared to Java, right? So since no one is going to answer, then we see that among the top competitive programmers, what is the top language? C++. So most people might be surprised. Why not Java? Why not Python? You see the Python is so easy. Then why you want to use C++? Because in a competitive programming, right, you want to implement a fast, efficient solution. And among the three languages, right, the fastest language in runtime is C++. You just compare the runtime. You see, I attached the runtimes of these three programs, right, in the description below the image. So you can see the C++ only take around 100 milliseconds. But for the Python, it's 171. It's like a bit longer. But for this one, it's because there is some kind of the small test cases. Later you know what is the scale of this test cases. And for the Java, there's a one disadvantage. You need to wait for the Java virtual machine to start out before you can reach the efficiency of C++. So the Python, right, this one because it's a small program, if I let the program to run longer, eventually the Java will have a lower runtime compared to Python. So C++ is the fastest one, Python is the slowest one, generally, right? So you can see Java is good. It's like the efficiency is between the C++ and Python. But the thing is, you need to write a very long code. So you need to make some trade-off between the time you to write the code and the time to run the code. For the Python, it might be very simple to write code, but when you run the code, right, then you got some kind of penalties, right? And then another difference is that in the C++, right, it provides you with the standard template library. You know what is the library like? It provides you some kind of the common data structures, like the array, vectors, and like some of the hash map. But so in Python, there are some kind of the lack of data structures, the special one, not those common one, right? The array, every language has got array. So for maybe to some advanced data structure, like the balanced binary search tree. So C++ and the Java got a specific data structure for that, but the Python, you maybe need to implement yourself. So that's why the C++ is the top choice if you want to enter the competitive programming. But if you just want to play for fun, Java is enough. Or even I would say Python is enough. Right? So pick the best language already makes you, a better player in the game, right? So you got the language. How you want to, use the language, like how you can get access to the problems. So in CP, right, because this kind of the CP platforms. Also CP platforms, you can see so many platforms. Which one should I use? So I will talk about them later in the session to like which session I prefer to start for the beginners to start off their CP journey. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 platforms. I want to practice 7 platforms at one time. Unless you are that one person. Later I'll tell you who is that person. Then you can, get practice all 7 platforms. But for beginners, maybe 1 is already enough, sufficient for the Malaysia contest. Right. So this is for the very brief introduction of the CP. Now I want to introduce you to something known as the ICPC. The ICPC got another name, is that it's the Olympics of programming competitions. The Olympics, right? In this year, we are going to have our Olympics in Paris. Not sure whether we can get our the first gold medal for Malaysia, right? Create a history. So before we look into the ICPC, let's first explore the International Olympic in Informatics. The Olympic, right? So the Olympic is like some kind of contest, like there's more open to the high school students, such as the secondary education, those SMK lah, and then maybe the pre-U students are also eligible to join this contest. And then this person right here, the third person who is wearing a shirt with a text world champion. Yes, he is the world champion because he made history by winning Malaysia's first and only gold medal so far in IOI 2018. See, so this IOI, right, is like a ICPC contest. It's a CP contest, but it's targeted for the high school students. Those are the more younger, the secondary education ones. For me, already too old to join lah. Even though when I'm young at my age, right, I still don't know this contest exists yet, right? So if you're a secondary school student here, then you can maybe want to try in this contest, go for the training. So you can see he joined for 4 times in the IOI. You see, in the first 2 times he got a bronze. Then in the third year he's joining IOI, he got a gold medal, the only gold medal. You see the value, but the gold medal in this kind of Olympic contest might not mean for the first place or second place that you usually known is in the regular contest lah. Actually will give some kind of maybe the top maybe 4 or 10 any percent to get a gold medal, and then the top next how many percent to get the silver medals. So not necessarily the 1 medal, but it's a top 14 already, the best player of the best. And also the IMO. What is IMO? It's known as the International Maths Olympic. So it says the computer science is about algorithms, right? If you have some foundation in mathematics, that makes you even a better player in the IOI. So these two, right? Usually people have a good performance in the IMO, the Maths Olympic. They also have a good performance in the informatics. There's some kind of correlated. So you see in 2020, right? He also got the gold medalist. See, very good player here. But what about the ICPC? See, since this one is targeted to high school students, the ICPC, right, is targeted for university students. It's the what? The oldest, largest, and the most prestigious programming contest in the world. You see, throughout our history of the Malaysia, we only enter the world finals once in the ICPC 2012 in the Warsaw, right? So there's only 1 team in our history. Don't know when the second team will come out. So in this contest, you need to have the 3 university students and 1 coach to bring you to a contest. Like you see the four people standing in the photos here. See, the left one is the coach, and then the others are the students. So in the both finals, right, there are only every university is only allowed to send a team. So if it's UN, like the 10 top players, they only make some sacrifice, only send 3 members to go for world finals. But luckily, we don't even have 1 player to be eligible to one world finals. So no such issues here. And then for the contest in ICPC, right, although we have 3 members here, but the thing is, they only provide you with 1 computer. Not because they are, don't have the money to buy computers, because they want to test your skills. Later, I will talk more about it. So another thing that the ICPC is well known for is the number of problems. It's very large. You see, it provides with the 5 hours. Then you need to solve, usually around 12 problems, 10 to 12 problems in a recent contest. So you see, it's very large challenge give to the our contestants. So maybe you can now take a guess how our Malaysia's team performed in the ICPC 2012. See, if you want to make a guess, maybe you can put in the the chat lah. See, now only the right. Next, let's talk about the ICPC logo. You see, ICPC, although it's like the algorithmic competition, even you listen from the name, then some kind of, maybe you thought of it as some kind of the boring competition. Everyone just staring in the screen. So in like those kind of sports competition, badminton, football, you see the people moving, but for in the contest here, everyone just staring on the screen. Come on. Then what is the value of watching you, right? So in the ICPC, right, they actually introduce some kind of the fun by introducing the balloons. You see the ICPC logo, they got the think. So they got the bubble and then the light bulb for the create the solution, then solve the solution. When you solve the solution, you get the balloon. See? So the balloon, right, you see it from this photo, each balloon actually indicates that you have solved one problem. So maybe the first problem is the orange balloon, the second problem is the blue balloon. So if you solve the second problem, then you get a blue balloon. So the other ways for saying you got you solve the most problem is that you got the most balloons. Not sure whether PLN can implement this, right? That will be very striking to view. You see, otherwise, everyone just watching with the screens, right? And then for the mascots, you see, the ICPC is very quite generous in their rules. You can actually bring your mascots, those the stuffed animals, some kind of the party has. You can bring them in the ICPC. The organizers are actually quite interested in this area. You see so many photos about them. So I want to bring this tradition. You see, I bring my penguin, the mascot, bring it to the Foreign Exchange 2023. And it indeed got some significance. Later you see what the significance. So maybe in the PRN this year, not sure whether they allow you or not. Then you can bring some kind of mascot. Maybe it helps to give some buff. Right? Then the local contest. So in ICPC, right, you cannot, it's not like I want to join for the World Finals, then I directly can join the World Finals. No, that's why there's only one team joining the World Finals so far. Hopefully not in the next few years also. So you can see from these photos, right? I think this is the International Islamic University in Malaysia, the IIUM, right? They are very active in hosting this kind of the national or regional contest in Malaysia. So his name is the Al Kawarizmi. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. So this is the national contest for Malaysia. So before the COVID, the emergence of COVID, before 2019, so it's very actively hosting these kind of events. But after this, don't know where it went already, right? So you can see from the photos, although maybe not so world class compared to the world finals, so you can see the spirit is still there. You see the balloons are still there, right? So hopefully we can see the local contest of the ICPCs came out in maybe the next few years, right? Because I want to join them too. Okay. So if you got a very good placing in the the local contest, then you can move further to the regionals. What is the regionals? You see, after you got the maybe the top place for Malaysia, they want to go for a higher rank. So for the higher rank, they are usually this divided into the 8 regions among the world. You see, you got the African, Arab. So for us, Malaysia, right, we belongs to the Asia Pacific region. So if you want to compete to go for the world finals, you need to compete with them, maybe the Australia, Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, right? I don't need to. So that's some kind of the benefits that you don't need to compete with those much stronger countries like the Russia, China, all those the top programmers are all there, but they are not in the same region with us. So we only meet them in the world finals. I got some kind of the safety zone, right? So hopefully we can move into the regionals. But in Asia Pacific, right, because recently many countries are joining the ICPC, so we are improving, not improving, I mean modifying the rules. Before this, if you win the regionals, you can go for the world finals. But for the Asia Pacific, right, they recently introduced a new rule is that there are a new championship known as the Asia Pacific Championship. So the champion of each regional contest, right, the top place for maybe the Kuala Lumpur can directly qualify for the world finals. But the next top teams, right, the second place, third place, they will need to compete in this Asia Pacific Championship first before they are qualified for the world finals. So you see one more round. Okay. So in this one, I think it's around the March, we got the Asia Pacific Championship. The first because this rule is just implemented in the last year, I think. So this is the first Asia Pacific Championship, and the Seoul National University from the South Korean, they got a champion. See their team name is the new trend. See, they bring out a new trend, then they can go for the World Finals in 2024. See, are you interested in knowing how Malaysia perform in this contest? Later I'll tell you how is the contest, how our performance in the contest, right? Then if you can pass this through rounds, either you get the champion in the regional, or you got some kind of the top performing teams in the super regional, then you can enter the World Finals. You see, you can go to the foreign country, a very overseas country. So you see in the ICPC 2023, although it's 2023, it's actually host in last week. Why? Because Korea, everything is because they will get postponed. So the contest for the 2022 and 2023, right, which are originally going to held by these years, are actually hosted on April 19 in 2024, which basically last week in Luxor, Egypt. We have two World Finals took place in the same time, you see. Right? So for the World Finals, right, everyone, join the contest. What are you aiming for? The champion, you see. So for the rank 1, right, so these are the prizes for the for the winners in the contest. For rank 1, you got a World Champion Cup. You see the two World Champion Cups they're holding. And the gold medal, you got $15,000 get for a team. And for the next thing, the second to the 12th rank, you also got your own medal and the cash money. And then if they are got some kind of the top performing team that cannot be covered in the 12 ranks, then we may produce the additional bronze medals for them. So in the World Finals last week, who wins the game? For the China University, the Peking University. They won the 46, which is the one that's supposed to be held on 2022. And the Russian University, the National Research University Higher School of Economics, got a champion of the 47 ICPC World Finals. So see, the China and the Russia are two very strong countries in the World Finals of ICPC, right? So in the ICPC 2024, we are going to have our World Finals in September 15 to 20. So we finally bring back the right schedule, hosting the World Finals in the same year as it in the title, right? So in the September, we will have our World Finals in Astana, Kazakhstan, in this country. So if our Malaysia, because the team that pass the regional, they can join for the World Finals, right? So it's very curious whether Malaysia got the teams to go for the Astana or not. So we see later, right? When we talk about the ICPC or competitive programming, we must mention one person. Just now I mentioned about the 7 platforms, right? This person right here, this person right here. So you are familiar with him or not? Are you familiar with him? His name is Gennady Korokovich. Not sure I'm pronouncing his name correctly because it's some kind of the Russian name or something, right? So or he's more well known of his the username tourist, the tourist. You see, since his age, since he's 11 years old, right, he already won major international competitions. Not just participate, but winning the competitions. You see, at age 11, you think you just recall when you are age 11, what are you doing? You see the person here is already winning those world class competitions in programming. In that time, I don't think I know programming yet. You see, and he's the highest rated programmer. Like those kind of mobile games, the Dota 2, they got some kind of the rating one. He's the highest rated programmer on 5 platforms as of October 2023, especially in the code forces. He achieved the maximum rating of 3,900, but the second person, right, is only 3,700 something. You see the gap or not? So it's a very legendary player in competitive programming field. So if you are in the CP field, right, it's impossible you never heard of his name before. See how handsome he is, right? And then we can not check his contest history. So if I check his contest history, you can see all kind of gold medals, the first place, you see the top numbers. So this is also another evidence of showing how top performing he is, how consistent he is. You see the IOI, he participated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 gold medals consecutively from 27 to 2012. See, very consistent player. And then in the ICBC, he got a champion for 2013 and 2015. So why is he not getting more than 2 medals? Why is that? He's so powerful. He needs to be limited by the contest rules because every contestant can only join the world finals for 2 times, right? And then there are also some of the online contests. I know the Google Code Jam, Podcopter, something. He's also the top performing one, if not the first place, right? So this is the one that you must know. It's probably you can learn from him to go for the champion. I mean, next time the honorable mention here is not the tourist, it's you. See, maybe in the next workshop in the next year. Let's see. Right. So in another joke of him is that tourist, why is meant for tourists? Because it's just taking a tour in our planet to assess his dominance on Earth. You see he's the highest rated programmer on the 5 platforms, right? So there is a saying that if he's not a top rated programmer in a platform, most likely is that he never heard of that platform before. If he came in that platform, directly he go for a rank 1 already, right? So that is all regarding the global contest. Maybe it seems far from you. So let's back to our homeland here, Malaysia. Let's see how Malaysia perform. So just now I thought about our only team advancing to the world finals, right? So for the world finals, right, let's see how he performs. Out of 112 competing teams in the world final, what is the rank of our team? 99 rank, you see. So it's not some way I want to humiliate that. No. It's a very good performance already because you can see he's the only one team that passed into the world finals. And then you get the very good problem count in the final contest. You see, he solved 2 problems out of 12. If I go, how much I can get? Probably 0. You see, I go to 5 hours and look at the ceiling. I don't know how to solve a problem. And the even more possible outcome is that I'm not eligible to go for the world finals. Maybe in the not a region, maybe in the national contest I already got disqualified. So you see, so this is the first time and the only time we enter the world finals, 2012. Not sure in the next few years whether we can maybe the one of you from the participants here go for the world finals and get a better rank, right? Don't go for the 3 digits or go for the better rank. See, so this is representing the IIUM, the International Islamic University in Malaysia, 2 Malaysians and 1 Bangladesh, right? So next, so why is our team not performing well in the world finals? It is a sad truth that CP in Malaysia is still developing, still far from being developed. You see, they got a Reddit question says that why don't Malaysia be in the ICBC World Finals? And you see the QS ranking of 60, high rankings, but the programming culture not so developed. You see, maybe because something is more important compared to the programming, right? So you see this national contest. This is a national contest hosted in I think the Kuala Lumpur in 2019 before the COVID comes out. You see, wow, very good performance. You see, the one from the let's see, cannot see the name also. The IUN. You see, he got the rank 1 in the national contest. Solved 8 problems. This is the second team only solved the 6 problems, right? From the the Reed Taco, right? But this is only for the national contest. If you walk a step further, we go for the regional contest. You see, can you see Malaysia teams? You see, this is the top 15 teams. Oh, then I know the strong countries. I know the Japan, Singapore, Taiwan University, even the Vietnam. And then where are our teams? This is the Kuala Lumpur regional. We are, and then all the Malaysia's universities are at the bottom half of the leaderboard. Not because I cropped the lower half of the leaderboard. It's because the first Malaysian team is literally the 7th place, And so we cover all the lower areas. So this is what it comes when it comes to the region. When you compete with those other countries. If you go for the national contest, shocks and DV. If you go for the region contest, then we see how the problem standards change and how poor we are performing. You see. That's why no one go into the world finals. If we already facing problems in the regionals, what about world finals? What about world finals? You see, this is a competitive program platform known as the Code Forces. The same platform you will be using for a PLN. Later will make some more explanation on it so that you can get a better understanding on it. You get the well start for your PLN journey. So you see this the rankings for the Malaysia. You compare it with the Singapore. You see the red ones is known as the International Grandmaster. international grandmaster. You see, Singapore got 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the active one in the recent months. We got 5 international grandmasters. But for Malaysia, no one, no active user. You see the difference? And the orange color is for the master. You see, the master players, you see, cannot even fill in the leaderboard. But for Malaysia, just 3 only. You see, already top 20 already cover up the lowest rank in the core forces, the newbies, the gray color one. You see the difference or not? Maybe you say you compare with another strong company, that's of course a situation like this. Let's compare to our 2 of the nearest countries here, the Thailand and Indonesia. You see the Indonesia, although you see the purple color is named for the candidate master, one lower rank compared to the master, but it's still considered very powerful rank already. You see, and then for the Thailand, you see, in the Malaysia you already see the newbie, you see the gray color one, but for the Thailand it's still until the expert areas only. You can see the distribution of the colors. In Malaysia we got the most colors in our top leaderboard. That's not a good thing, I would say, right? This is not, although this is only the same region, the countries within the same region research. What about those the China, Russian? This is the Russian platform. Often they are more powerful in this platform. You see. So hopefully one day I want to see the Malaysian, the leaderboard all reds one. Oh, then we go to the world finals. No problem anymore. See. Okay. Then we also want to make an honorable mention. You see, just now I talked about the best CP programmer in the world. Let's talk about the best CP player in the Malaysia. Remember the name Yo Zisong? It's the same guy just now. The same guy that win the first and only gold medal in the IOI. You see, in the core forces, right, he's the only international master, the one with the red color name. So you got the red color name, then you can go for MIT. You see the standards. If with me, I go with the green name, I go for MIT. I directly get rejected. If you got the red names, he's in the MIT now. And it's not just that he's in the MIT. He's the only one that is entering the MIT on the year, in the same year of the entry as him. You see the standards of the MIT, right? I mean, for the number of friends, you already know how many people are following him. 2,000. For me, I think maybe less than 10, right? So this is the top player in our Malaysia, the first and only. Hopefully we can see another one in the next few years. Hopefully. Okay. Also, we want to have some honorable mentions to our Malaysian medalists. So you see, although in the ICPC, right, you see we got this one, Hao Sui, although he's a Malaysian that is participating in the ICPC, but he's actually representing the NUS, the National University of Singapore, not Malaysia, right? He joined the Singapore team, then he get the rank 32, but it's not counted, it's not a Malaysian university, right? But his nationality is still Malaysian. So you can see these are the top players. Not that I only crop for the top 12, These are the one that actually get a medal in the IOI. So most of them I already know.
Sorry, Wei Hong, interrupt. Actually, your
Yes.
screen is not changing just now.
Oh, not sharing just now.
I think you can reshare.
All right. Thank you for the reminder. I'm not sure why. See, only 100 members. Thank you very much for the reminder. Right, let me share again. Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you very much. Right, can you see the Malaysian medalists? See the top 12. The best player, Yeo Zisong, the one I already mentioned. I always mention just now. Got the 4 medals, the first and the only gold medals, right? And then for the rest of them, they got the IOI a very good performance. So with this good performance, they are advancing into other countries to advance their studies. Not sure whether you can see the screen just now like this. Okay, right. So what about the CP contest in Malaysia? You see the ICPC contest, the local contest already go to nowhere. So let's focus on the new contest that emerged after the year 2019, after the COVID. So the PLN, hopefully everyone here in this workshop know about what is PLN, because this is a workshop hosted by PLN. If you don't know PLN, you go for this workshop. I'm quite curious of how you can in here, right? So this is an annual nationwide CP competition for undergraduates, not foundation and master students, undergraduates, hosted by the PERCOM, the Persatuan Computer Club in English in University of Malaya. So our first contest, I'll show a short history on it in 2020. But we offer both open and closed categories. In this year, the director said, I want to have the 15,000 prize pool. You see, for the open category, 10,000. For the closed category, 5,000. What's the difference between the open and closed category? You see, for the open category, it's for the all the students in Malaysia. You see, I can join, you can join, as long as you are the university students in Malaysia, right? But for the closed category, it's only for the first year students in UM, not in entire Malaysia, in UM. So you see, but they can get the first place. It's 2,500 for the champion. At that time when I get a champion, how much I got? 1,000 only. In this year, you see, the economics are growing, right? So this is the PLN 2023. Okay, you can see there's the photos over here, because 2024 we still haven't started yet, so I don't have the photos, right? So not only I want to talk about the CP in Malaysia, maybe I can talk about my journey. How did I get in the PLN 2022? The sad truth is that when I'm in the first year in the computer science, studying computer science in Malaysia, right? Then there's some kind of announcement saying that there's a programming competition, as known as the Programming League National. The first year time in the second semester. That is the time. I only know that competitive programming exists. So my year of contacting with the competitive programming is just 2 years ago. When I'm in the first year of my studies. So see, you can see my league code. So that time when I know the such contest exists, I go to do league code all the time. You can see previously it's gray one. I don't even know this thing exists. Then I go to train the league code. Then after I'm training, what I got a champion in the closed category. So you see, within just maybe 2 months, from someone who don't know about the CP, go in the champion in the closed category. You see, not because I'm strong. It's because that the CP community in Malaysia facing some the development problems, right? So this is the photos I got in the PLN 2022. Why there is some kind of the screen not changing again? Yeah, hopefully it's changing. Okay, so the next slide. So in the next year, PLN 2023, I need to leave the safety zone. Cannot join the closed category anymore, unless I drop out and then join back as a first year. But why I want to do that, right? I need to compete in the open category. So you see, I go for the closed category, for those the closed category for those students in the first year in the UN only. Then I need to face all the best contestants among the universities, all over the Malaysia. Then what still become a champion. You see, in the 2023, we got the 5,000 with my teammates over here. See, so hopefully this year I'm going to add another slice here. Right. This is for the PLN. For the connection, it's another contest that is starting recently in 2021. It's hosted by the IT Society, MMU Cyberjaya, also an annual event. So I also joined this, right? So in 2023, they also got the open and the closed category. But I think the closed category is more for the MMU students, not just for first year. You see the difference, right?
I think your side is not changing.
Still not changing.
It's changing.
Right. We share the screen. Not sure whether the Teams problem or the Canva problem. Right, can you see the connection?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right, let's continue. Let's continue. So my journey in 2023, in the 2022 one, why I want to skip it, because I only got a 4th place. It's an online contest. You see, you need to stay at the computer with my teammate. Just now, the one that is speaking, right, is my teammate in 2022. Right? It's 2023. Then we go for the record scavenger. I need to go for the MRTs or the bus. Go for the record scavenger. But fortunately, it's worth it, because you get the 2,000. It's a very good, the trade-off. And we got a very good experience over here. You see, right? What about the Monash Coding League? Monash Coding, a very compared to the 2 contests just now, it's a more the small scale contest. But it's actually host 2 times in a year, biannual. Why? Because they're hosting once per semester. By the IT team and the MomTech. Right? It's also initiated in 2021. When the ICPC don't know go in anywhere already, then this kind of new contest come out, right? So the MCL allows the student to participate either individually or in pairs. So the contest just now, right, it actually allows maximum up to 3 members to join the contest. But for this Monash community, it's a smaller scale. For the photo, you already know why it's small scale, right? It's in the room only. no, those kind of big holes. In the price pool, also you can see 1,500 only. What is the special thing here is that the special thing is that you not only got the prize money, the 800 for a champion, you also got a very special. I think this is the most special one compared to the two contests just now. It's a crystal trophy. So you see the I don't know, more atas I think. So this is before this, I don't know this contest exists, But for my because like partner Wong Yan Hong, later I'll tell more about him also. He bring me to the success in this contest. Two champions, Although in the first slide he's showing the first runner, I don't know whether the screen for anything. But he actually got the two champions in these two contests. Thanks to my partner over here. Right, good. So why you should join CP? You see, many people are after all my introduction just now, then why should you join CP? You see, because you have a chance, to become creating the history for Malaysia. What is the history? You see, the Olympics, not sure whether you can create history for the first gold medal today. But for the ICBC, not for the gold medal, just maybe a bronze medal is already creating history for Malaysia. For Malaysia. So hopefully one of you over here, 165 people over here, for one person here will become an honorable mention for the ACPC medalist in the World Finals. Right? Then what are the other benefits? This one too far away. I don't think at world class. One of my professors, he said, don't want to scale, to become a rank one. Everything is possible. He wants us to must try, And then we can enhance our problem solving skills. Of course, because you solve more problems, your problem solving skills should be increasing as well. Then you can get exposure to advanced algorithms and data structures. This is the most unique thing compared to the hackathons. For the hackathons, connect database, do some UI. Then you cannot get access for the use for the advanced algorithms. Even you also just import from some kind of library. But for computer programming, maybe you need to implement, understand, so that you can configure it to fit your requirements. See, and then teamwork. The teamwork is very important because it is a team contest. 3 people over here and only one computer. So if there's someone I want to use the computer all the time, don't let the other 2 members have a chance. Facing some teamwork problems. So it's very important because the teamwork spirit collaboration, right? And then you can earn some financial rewards. Financial rewards, you see, I got so much champion last year. These are the financial rewards. You see, better than nothing. You can get receive some internship and job opportunities also. If you get the ICPC World Finals gold champion, then you don't need to find a job already. Why you want to go to apply for the jobs? The job will come and find you. They come to apply for you. It's you that need to pick. Right. So let me give an example. Not because sorry.
Information is still created ni moment. Aku dah tahu lain. Rental date, duration dengan price per day.
Oh.
Apa yang dia ni? Maksudnya apa? You look tak buat dia pasal tu.
Let me share my screen. It's some issue over here.
Rental date, duration betul-betul macam aku baru rasa tu.
Not sure, maybe because my camera problem, they got some kind of the audio issues over here. Yeah, okay, good. Right, let's back to our camera. So we see the internship, before this, I think in 2022, they got some kind of the Shopee coding league. So for the people that are performing well in that contest, right, maybe you can get into the Shopee more easily. No need to have connection inside the Shopee company. Maybe you know the relative inside the Shopee. But you got the champion, the Shopee Cornelia. I think they value you much better when you apply for their internship or maybe permanent job also. Right. So this is why you should join CP. It's for those students, especially the students that fail in the FOP, the fundamentals of programming, the programming course in University Malaya. Yeah, that is better for you to join CP to improve your programming skills. So in the data structure later, you don't fail again, right? Right. Yeah, why is it not moving? Okay. Okay, so back to the question just now. What is the question I put in the first slide? Is it too late to learn about CP now? Is it too late? You see, I only realized the existence of CP 2 months before the first contest. Still can get the champion. So it means what is the thing? Is that you don't need to be great to start, but you need to have start to be great. You see, I spent so much time in the league code, although the league code probably not the standard CP platform. You see, I didn't include in the the CP platforms in the previous slide, but it's actually maybe a more beginner friendly, especially for some of like me, don't have the experience in CP. See. Right. So if you want to get a better place in the CP, you must spend your time in training, not just fishing, hoping to get a champion. You need to make some actions. Get a better place in PLN. Right. So right now we got our mini contest. Not sure because you see maybe got some internet problems here. I cannot receive very clearly in my side. You see the meeting chat. Maybe they got some kind of technical issues over here. I can't see the chat very well. So later in the 9 p.m. After you come back from the toilet break, or you want to do it during the toilet break, it's also fine if you have the capability, right? I want to talk about this. For the mini contest, we don't have prizes. So we won't deliver the prize to you, right? But the thing is, you can get some bragging rights to say that I will win the contest, the pre-PLN contest, mini contest. Although it's a very simple problem, but it's a very good starting point. If you have no experience in CP, you got to try to solve this problem. Then later, when I explain this problem, you get a better understanding. See, the thing is that you just read the problem or watch the YouTube video, then actually solving the problem. It's a completely different thing. So that's why most people they study the lecture, but they never code themselves. That's why they fail. Right. So what is the mini contest? How to assess it? So hopefully I can ask the PLN committee now to place the registration link for the CP contest in the chat right here. Not sure I can receive it or not this time. Can hello. Hi. For the PLN committee, can you paste the the Code Forces link that I sent you previously to this chat? Yeah. Not sure whether it's my chat problem or not. Okay, so if you can see it in the chat, right, that means that because in the PLN contest later, you will be using the same platform, the Code Forces platform. I can see now in the chat. So you can see why not use this as a chance, to understand how this platform works. Maybe during the real contest, you don't know how to start the platform. You will waste some valuable minutes to start in the contest. So see, I must encourage you to try and register for this contest. Try for register. You don't need to maybe solve the problem. We just try to register. See whether it's success or not. Don't later otherwise in the parents say, I cannot access anything, those things. Okay, right. So in the next, I think maybe 10 minutes from the 9 p.m. to 9:30, we will have our toilet break session. And for toilet break session, maybe you can spend some time for the experienced player. The tourists are the one that I mentioned the best programmer. Maybe he spent 1 minute to solve this problem only. Very simple one. No need to have data structure, no need algorithm one. Just a careful observation. Now the hint I already give you a careful observation. All right. So thank you for this. Staying in the end for the 157 people. Hopefully are the real people. Staying to the end of this session 1 workshop. Right. Hopefully we can get a good place in this mini contest, and we'll see you again in the session 2. I'll pass the floor back to the MC.
Thank you for your enlightening talk. Your expertise in the field has given us a better understanding of basic competitive programming. I'm sure the participants have found your talk both informative and engaging. It's currently 9 p.m. We are going to take a short break and we will resume promptly for the next session at 9:10 p.m. Thank you. Before the break, dear participants, I would like to remind you that we have attached the link in the chat box and the QR code located on your screen. Feel free to ask questions or inquiries regarding the workshop using that at any time. Your questions will be sorted out during the Q&A sessions later. Thank you. Attention, dear participants who do not have access to the chat box, please kindly scan the QR code displayed on your screen if you wish to ask questions that will be answered in the Q&A session later. Thank you. Dear participants, the next slot of this workshop will commence momentarily. Please ensure that your microphones are muted. Also, I would like to remind you again that we have attached the link in the chat box and a QR code located on your screen. Feel free to ask questions or inquiries regarding the workshop using that at any time. Your questions will be sorted out during the Q&A session later. Thank you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the previous session as much as I did. We are now moving on to our next slot for today. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming back Mr. Sam.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for still staying with the second session because it's the more important session for you. Nobody cares about the ICBC. Right. So let's check the. Let me reshare my screen first. Right. The contest because I don't think anyone solved it yet, so I extend the time a bit. Right. But if you don't want to continue it, let's do it from my perspective to see how I can solve the problems based on the perspective. From the perspective of a contestant. But for this, let me share my screen first, facing some issue right now. Right, because I need to share how to code, so I need to share the whole screen. Right, can you see my whole screen? All right, hopefully, Okay, good. So when I give you the contest link, right, you directly go how to enter the contest by giving the link, enter in the contest, and you can see there is someone can enter register. Wow, 25 people register. You must register also. Then you need to take part in PLN. Please choose your team Otherwise, you choose for individual participant. You need to versus 3 people. How can if you are not the tourist, right? So but for this contest, you can join as a team or individual. You want to, but only one problem. What's the point, right? And then you will be bring to the gym page, which I don't know why they design like this. So you need to use the same, go back to the link. See, many people they struggle. Oh, I already registered. Why I go to the page cannot find the contest? That's the problem, right? Then you can enter the contest by pressing the enter button. Right? See, we got the problems. I say only one problem. Why? Because the second one is the same problem, exact same problem one. Okay, I can click on it. See, the problems are exactly the same. So by solving one problem is equal to solving two problems. All right. So this is the core forces interface. You see about the problem section, the submit code, and the standings. Let's check the standings. See, my competitors are still facing issues, but right now the standings is actually frozen. So maybe someone already solved the problem, just that you haven't shown up, right? Because if it shows already, then everyone doesn't have to suspend. Everyone know who is the champion already. Right. So let's back to our slides. So in our micro CP, not only we will talk about the hands-on problem solving, how to solve problems as a competent programmer, and the strategies and how to practice the tips. I share the questions. Many is asking about how to practice. I said I will mention in the second session. So no worries. Let's go into our problem solving session first. Right. What better way to introduce CP than to do the CP, right? So this is our problem right here. You see, in the problem, this is the problem statement. You got a time limit and a memory limit. That means that in your time, right, the program should take less than 2 seconds to run for each test case, right? So this is the problem. Very simple only. At the Kenny Fried Chicken, we brought a robot to help us select the chickens for the famous recipes. Initially, the chickens are all in a row. Then the robot, right, you want to sacrifice the chickens, will pick some special position based on these K secret numbers. So if K is 5, there will be 5 secret numbers. And then for each day, the robot picks these chickens in this position. If there is no chicken at this position, then the position will be skipped, right? Then to preserve the continuity of the chicken track, the leader here want to figure out how many chickens will survive in the end, given the total number of chickens. Simple only, right? So if you don't understand the problem statement from the description, you can go for the input and output section. For the input and output section, we call it detailed description on how to process the input. You see the first number over here is the number of test cases. So it's 2, right? You should see 2 rows below here. And for each test case, right, the first line contains 2 integers. The number of secret numbers. So if it's 2, right, there will be 2 numbers below it. If it's 4, then 4 numbers. Then the initial number of chickens is 6 and 5. Right? Then the second line will contain the k integers, which is the secret numbers. They are in increasing order. Then output, you need to print the chickens that survive in the end. Then when you read this problem, right, usually you can, if you're a tourist, then you already know the answer. But if you are the computer programmer, then you need to visualize the problem, how to visualize. So for this one, it's something like this. So chickens, right, for maybe you can test your idea. But the idea is, right, in the first test case over here, you got 6 chickens. Then what is the secret number? The 3 and 5. So that day 1, the 3 and 5 will get sacrificed, then they disappear already. So that day 2, right, the 4th chicken will go to the place of the 3rd chicken. And the 6th chicken will go to the place of the 4th chicken. See? And then in a day 2, we will eliminate the 3rd and the 5th chicken again. Right? But this time the 5th position, right? No chicken anymore. So only the 3rd chicken will get sacrificed. Then the 4th chicken will come in front to get sacrificed in the day 3. So in the end, we cannot sacrifice any chicken anymore. So what are the number of chickens that survive in the end? The answer is you should print the number 2. So this is our test case 1. For test case 2 is also the same logic. You see the position is 4, 5, 8, 10. Then we got 5 chickens initially. Then later, we kill sacrifice the 4th and 5th chickens. Then in the end, we can sacrifice no more chickens. Then what are the number of chickens that can survive? 3 chickens. Alright, that's really straightforward. Like, the problem now is how to solve the problem. For me, I didn't see any problems, So in the actual context, this one is an inspired problem. So in the actual context, I solve it in 4 minutes. For this one, you see, maybe some people they think, nothing to kill the chicken, then they cannot stimulate the process. Why don't we just do what we are told, right? So you implement a program, you create an array of C chickens. So you can see in this, the vector integer chicken C over here, you create an array of C chickens. Then you look through all the secrets number. If there is a chicken in the specified position, remove it. Right, so you can see I set out a for loop, right? After for loop, I go from the last position to the first position. Then I check the index. If the index, right, is still valid, that means that there is a chicken in that position, which it does not exceed the array size. Then I erase the chicken at that position. Right, so this is the second step. The third step, I will check, I want to repeat the step until no chicken is removed, right? So I set out the counter over here, erase equal to false. So if I've got removed a chicken, right, then I set the erase to be true. Then in the end, I check whether there are any chickens being erased. If there's no chicken being erased, that means that already reached the end of the day, right? Then I break from the loop. Otherwise, I will go to another iteration. So in the end, I just need to print the number of chickens that survive, which is the number of elements in the chickens array. So you see, very simple. Just do as what you're told. So do as what you're told, right? So you got it. How to do the CP program? You see, I open now in VS Studio. Some people they want to open all the C lion, JetBrains are intelligent. Up to you, as long as you're comfortable. Right. So you need to implement a solution. For me, I don't want to type it out and waste everybody's time. Then you got the program over here. Right? Then you can either use some kind of extension, but for me, I like to use the terminal line. So how to test whether your program is working correctly? Because if you submit a wrong solution, right, they got some kind of penalty one. Why you want to get the penalty for? For the sample input over here. I check the input. I copy the input because I want to check whether I can produce the same output as the problem, right? So how to do? You copy the input, you paste it inside a file. So when I compile the program, G++, this one I'm using the C++, right? Then I set the my standard. I want to use C++ 17, main not C++, and then I'll run it. And then I run the read based on this file. And I press enter, Okay, what is it thing? Oh, this thing is that because I forgot to put something. The dot slash. Right. What's this thing? I think my C++ probably is not working right now. Give me a second. We'll remove this. Right. The a.exe. Not sure whether I opened the wrong term in this. You can see the output already. So as an experienced programmer, I shouldn't do this kind of problems over here. You should test your terminal, your compilation program before you actually start doing it. I think because I just ran an antivirus scan, you delete my program or something. Right. So you run the input, then we can see the output. You compare it. Is it the same? Same, 2 and 3. If it's not same, what will happen? You see, I remove a line. Maybe this one I add a +1. Then I run the program again. You see, just simple only, and then you see the answer is wrong. If you submit this kind of, so you can, by testing your programs, against the sample input. You can catch the error before there is a penalty falling down on you. So that's why I need to has a very efficient workflow on how to test the input. Okay. So after you got the solution, what to do? Copy it because I want to submit to the programs already. Already finished. Very fast. Okay. Maybe I can extend it some more. Okay. So it's reloading. Not sure because it's entered the unstable state right now. Right, let me submit my code first. Let me edit it a bit. No, because give you more time now, 30 minutes now. Right. Save changes. Then I submit the code. Say the problem. Okay, and paste the code. And submit. Then you can know whether you're getting a correct response or not. Let's see whether we can get a correct response. Just now I say very simple problem. Then maybe someone will say, this one called simple. Come on. Right? Run the program now, see running on a test too. Because there's not just only one test case. So some people they want to do if the test case is like this, then you have to output the number, hard code the solution. Not working in CP. We got an error over here. Time limit exceeded on test 3. You see my time is 2000 milliseconds. Maximum time is only what? 2 seconds. I already exceeded. I already know this solution is wrong. Too young, too simple. Just follow the question. The question is trying to misleading you, trying to mislead you. But what's the wrong with our solution? Isn't it we got the correct output, right? The 2 and 3. What's wrong with our solution? We see, we want the solution, not the just a plain solution, the one you implemented in the programming class. Oh no, we want an efficient solution. You see, we want to do the sorting, right? We want to do the bubble sort. Although you can do the fastest one, the quick sort. And some people they cannot implement something that implement this kind, the slow sorting solution. You see this kind of sleep sort. Like this one, you set the time to print out the numbers based on the number. Like if it's 10, then it waits for 10 seconds before it prints out the number. So like this, in the end, you can print out the number in an increasing order using the time dimension. Another one is this Pogo sort. Just shuffle the numbers until it's sorted. Come on. So this kind, the slow programs. These programs are, just illustrated for fun. Illustrated for fun, that means that no one will implement it in real life, hopefully. So to understand that whether your programs can run in a given time, you need to understand the worst case time complexity. What is the worst case time complexity? You see this one, because the 10, maybe just 10 milliseconds, my programs already ended. But what if I already got what? 3,000, maybe 1 million. I need to wait 1 million seconds for my program to finish. Come on. Then directly, no need to submit. You should know your program should not work already. That's why we got the input range. What is the input range? You see that T is less than 100, K is 50,000. The numbers are there for a reason. You see the K is not like this, 2 numbers only, but 50,000. 50,000, see? So when there's 50,000, that is, I call it not scalable solution. For 5 number, maybe shuffle, when you get lucky, you got the sorted numbers. But when there 1 million numbers, it must be very lucky, right? So I would say this is not a scalable solution, especially because just 3 numbers, that's why you can pass the first 2 test case. And then, but when you are faced with large factors, some array of 50,000 elements, 50,000 chickens. Let me give you a case study. You see, if I only have a secret number, the number 4, but we have 50,000 chickens this time. So see, by removing an item right in the middle of maybe the array list in Java or a vector in C++, it's very expensive. Why is expensive? Just think I want to remove the 4th chicken, right? Then the 5th chicken need to replace the 4th chicken. The 6th chicken need to come in front and replace the 5th chicken. Basically, I need to move one. When I want to delete 1 chicken, right? I need to move maybe 40,000 chickens, for every time. That's why time exceeded lah. See, so that's why this solution not scalable. This secret number is 4, probably that's fine. If a secret number is 1, and then how to make it past the time limit, you see? So we need to think another way. Don't just follow the problem. Many people they just follow the problem. This one is the very big mistake. You should not follow a problem. Because the problem setter, they don't really want you to get the solution, right? So is it possible to get the answer without removing any elements? You see, when we remove things, bad things happen. Can we get the answer without removing any elements? Can simply notice that. I already give you the hint. The attention is all you need. What's the attention? You see the chickens with a position greater than or equal to the smallest secret number, right? will eventually be removed. What does that mean? Let me check again. You see, 5 chicken, what is the smallest secret number? 4, right? So even though I got 50,000, maybe 50,000 chickens, but eventually the 4th chicken will always get eliminated, right? So in the end, how many chickens will be left? 3 chickens lah. Then why I want to remove just 4 minus 1, get a 3 lah, right? But this one also same. What is the smallest number? 3, right? 3 minus 1 is how much? 2 ma. Then the 2 is the answer. See, that's the part of the attention, observation. Not just see the problem directly to the solution. No. That's how you fail in the PLN, right? So how to do a solution? This is a simple solution I want to see. Simple solution. How many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lines only. So later we see how many people can come up with these 6 lines later. Right? So you see the smallest secret number minus 1. Simple, right? Let's submit the solution. The solution. See. Submit my solution. Submit my solution. Okay, so let's see whether we can pass this time. Do you think you can pass? Let me see in the chat session. The chat session may got some problems. Okay. So do you think you can pass this time limit? Oh, we fail even faster. You see, we got the wrong answer in test though. You see, just now is the time limit exceeded. Now we got a new thing, the wrong answer. In the PLN committee, someone tell me you cannot out telling me I'm doing it wrong. But in CP, it's very harsh one. It's directly telling you got the wrong answer. What's the problem again? Did we miss something? Oh, you got the wrong answer. My theory works, isn't it? You see, beware of corner cases. The test cases it's not as simple as you see from the sample. Like my professor says, the sample is given because it's what? Sample Sample. The sample is usually the simplest one. The hidden one the hurdles that will make you fail. So you see, what if the initial number of chickens, right, is smaller than each secret number? Consider this case, the secret number is 4, but you only have 2 chickens. So just a common sense, you also know. In the end, how many chickens will be left? 2 chickens, right? But if you do the 4 minus 1, what will you get? 3, right? So you see, consider all the cases. So that's why I want you to think before you code. If you code before you think, then the first solution will come out. But if you think before you code, this efficient solution will come out. So you need to consider that whether the chicken number is smaller or the smallest secret number minus 1 is smaller. Then you print out the answer. So that's the solution I want to see. Solution I want to see. How to do the solution? Mean C A. You see, already from the solution you can know. I read a variable known as C. When the solution I didn't use the C as well. So you can see, then why I give you the C, right? It's got some kind of reasons. Okay, so hopefully if I submit this, right? So if I submit this, hopefully can pass the solution. Right? This one is the most efficient one, right? See how many lines only. Simple solution. Submit. Thank you. Let's see. Running the test 6. Okay. In the code process, when you see the test running, it's taking too long time, and then most probably you get a what? A time limit exceeded. But this time we move a 6 steps further. We exceed our time limit on test 9. So what's the problem again? Like this kind of solution also got, I just minus 1 and then do a comparison. This kind of problems also have time complexity issues. What is the issues here? I thought because I got the best algorithm already. Then what's wrong? You see, I/O is the bottleneck. The read and output the file. When the file is too big, then if you use those kind of the slow I/O, like the default I/O, use the scanner class system.out. You get the bottleneck will be happen in the fast I/O. Your problem is already, the solution is already correct. But you need to add 2 lines to enable the fast I/O. In Java, you need to add even more lines. That's why I want to use the C++. See, it's just 2 simple lines. So if I add these 2 lines, you see, this is the difference just now. I add these 2 lines, and I submit again, and again. And this time, I can pass all the test cases and get the score. See, the time limit issue, I actually can show you. This one must work already. So it's just a verdict, but declaration of mastery, you see, accepted. The first problem, you see, it takes so long to solve across for it. So you can see the challenges in the CP contest. Right. So this one is actually an inspired problem. So how hard do you think this problem is compared to all problems in the core forces? This is actually the lowest difficulty rating, 800 only. Simplest problem. So let's see how many people here can solve this simple problem. Let me check. You know, when you get a wrong answer, you can check the source, right? But it's because I'm an admin, I can see the the hidden test case that makes you to have a wrong answer. But if you are the a normal contestant, you can only see the sample input output. So if you got the wrong solution, you cannot check what am I doing wrong. No, you need to figure it out yourself. So that's the challenges. All right, let's see the standings. See the standings. Excellent. Doing very good. This is someone that comes off from the CPS, you see. And the others, see, come on. So you need to train to be succeed in CP. But it's a very good spirit, to join this CP contest. The most important thing is must be not fail to be wrong. Right? That's a problem. Right? So you see, some people are on the top, some people are on the bottom. You see, I want to use this example to show why some people have a better scoring. But you give me this kind of standings, I also face some kind of difficulties. Right? It's okay. Let's see how to go to the top of the leaderboard. So this is the time, right? Because I already know this issue very early already. So I already prepare my second account. See, that's an issue when you have the underdeveloped CP community. I need to edit my time again now, right? I have a setting. Yeah. It's okay lah. Let's go to the slides. Let's go to the slide. No, I have the most problems solved. So see the people that's at the top, right? Although there's only one person that can solve the two problems. The problem is, he solved the two problems, then he can become the top law, you see? Right. Maybe I can show you another. So, and then if the two people are solving in the same number of problems, maybe two people they solve the two problems, then what is the thing that will be considered is the time taken to solve all the problems. See? And then if the total time somehow is the same again, then you need to consider the earliest submission time or the last accepted solution. So you see how to calculate the penalty. So the penalty is basically the time consumed for your problems. So what is the total time for the ICPC is that how to calculate the penalty? You see our veteran right here, he got a penalty of 27. How did this 27 comes out? See? So for this one, maybe I give you another example. The problem A, it takes 5 minutes to solve it. Then the problem B, you realize that it's the same problem. Then it takes 2 minutes to submit the same solution. You see? So how come the penalty is 52? You see? The time consumed, right, is the time that starts from the beginning of the contest to the submission of your first accepted solution. Not the the time difference between the problems are different thing. So the 5 not plus 2 but plus 7, you get 12. And what is that? The difference of 40 is because the penalty, I submit 2 wrong solutions. So each of it will cause me to increase by 20 penalty minutes. So 12 plus 40, I get 52. You see, that's why I want you to think before you submit. Otherwise, you get a penalty. You see, 20 minutes for you to think, you don't want to think, you want to submit a wrong solution. So this, why the total time is very important, especially when those top competitors, they solve the same number of problems. Then the penalty is the one that determines who is the winner. Now it's the strategy part. I want you to win before you even fight. You see, in a one contest, before I even start to type the code, when I type out the code, I already know I already win before the contest even concludes. Why? Because of the correct strategies. What is the correct strategies? Let's see. Well begun is half done. So should start from the easiest or the hardest problem. For this, let me, I need to stop sharing my screen first. Give me a second. All right, right. Okay. Sorry, got some kind of issues over here. But this issue is not a problem. This is also a strategy to solve the problem. Right. Strategies. All right. What's the strategy? Should you start from the easiest or the hardest? Some people, they want to flex, start from the hardest one to show why it's so superior compared to the other competitors. But in ICBC, let's consider this case. Problem A takes 5 minutes to solve. Problem B takes 30 minutes to solve. The harder one. Then which one should you do first? A or B? You need to consider the penalty time. You see, the problem A takes 5 minutes to solve, and the problem B takes 30 minutes to solve. So if you solve A first, what is the penalty time? 5 plus 35, 40. But you do in the wrong order. You do the penalty, the harder problem. It takes 30 minutes, and it takes 5 minutes to solve problem. 35 plus 30, you get 65. You see, even though you have the same skill, solve the problem in the same time, but the order of you doing the problems makes you increase your penalty by 25. Oh, no way, you see. So that's why I see, by knowing this fact, you already exceed 30% of the CP players in the PLN. So you need to, in the context, you need to read all the problems to find the easier one, not just see the first problem directly do, but then you see you get a harsh penalty. So this is a strategy. And this strategy works best when the team members have the similar skill levels. If there are the wide gap in the skill levels, what happens? You see, if someone the more expert one, can solve the easier problem faster. Then after all the easier problems are solved, what happens? The weaker members cannot solve the problems anymore. Then if he cannot solve, then he disappear. When he disappear, then the stronger members need to face the brain problems. Want to do all the problems. The brain will hurt. Then you get a bad result in the contest. Right? So you need to know your team. You need to know which one is stronger, which one is weaker. Don't just someone say, oh, I can do 2,000 difficulty problems. Then you make it into a 22,000 problem. Then we cannot do. I say, I don't know, it's got some issue. But even though he can bluff his skill level. This is the person I really hate in doing the competitive programming. See, I want to create the hurdles, right? So you need to understand the skill levels and the strength. Why? Because if you've got a problem, there's a strength area of your teammate. Just let him to do it, right? Then you can make the highest efficiency. Right. So maybe you can save out some simple problems for your, the weakest member, then the strongest member directly focus on the hardest problem. Then you can not efficient. So you have to make an efficient workload distribution. This one is based on your experience, right? And then the strategy is you need to check the scoreboard, not to flex, and on top. No, it's because you want to identify the overlooked easy problems. You see, some problem, many people solve it. If many people solve it, most likely it's an easy problem. Then you should try to attempt on it. It's unusual. Maybe 10 people solving the first problem, but only one person solving the second problem, and you are doing the second problem. Then you should switch to easy problems to get the best efficiency. And then you can compare the progress. Later people already finish all the problems, you still do the problems. Then how to success, right? And then in the ICBC, there are even other strategies, because the first to solve the problem, you can get this first to solve balloon and then extra money. So some people, they don't go for the most simplest problem. Maybe they go for the second simplest, the third simplest, so that they can get this balloon and the money, right? Although not got any significance of penalty, but you got the the money, right? The balloon, the first to solve this second problem. See how proud he is, right? And then fast and furious. This is the most people are facing this problem. Fast to submit the solution. Then furious when you get the wrong answer on the test too. See, carefully reread the statement, check the constraints, and then you create the tricky test cases yourself. Just now I used a sample test case on it, but you can actually create your own test case, to test your programs, to see that whether it's fulfilling your expectations. And if you still get the wrong answer, maybe it's time to ask your teammate to redo it. Maybe you got some kind of the hurdles, got some kind of different perspective problem, right? And then end game, you see when the time is running out, if the 3 people are still focusing on the different things, when in the end time you got really, you can only solve 1 or 2 problems. So instead of working separately, I would recommend you to focus on the single problem. Use the 3 brains to focus on the 1 problem. Or maybe you can assign someone to work on the hard problem early on. Don't later only 30 minutes, then you want to work on the hard problem. How is it possible? And then another time is just submit without worrying about penalties. This one you need to know when to use this. Like you are in the maybe second place, and then the first place got a very high penalty. So instead of testing your code yourself, you just directly submit to the code forces and know that whether it's right or wrong. You don't need to think whether it's right or wrong. Just say that just to tell you. But you need to know when to use this. Don't otherwise your penalty become too high. You solve the problem, but it's useless, right? And then some contests, right, like the ICPC and the coordination in the last year, the final round, only allow one computer per team. So this is the, you need the strategy, only one computer. So you need to separate the thinking and coding part. In the coordination final round, some of the teams, I see three people staring in the screen, one person is typing the code, two person is speaking around him. Come on, how to think, how to focus, how to code the right solution. It's also, I think, a major hindrance for the person, right? Want to solve the problem, two people one say want to do this, one say want to do that. How to achieve the efficiency? And then because you're using a computer, right? You still can't debugging, cannot debug. Then you told maybe you need to the time to give up. Let your team member do the other question first, right? You do just manipulate the how to say monopolize the computer. Don't let the other use it. Later get a bad ranking, right? You see, this is the forge my own path. This one just like the general strategies, But for the contest, I think I need to create my custom strategy. Custom strategy. What's the custom strategy? You see, in the coordination 2023, in the preliminary round, right, I'm the the 17th, the Lawatan Samim Belajar, because a long time never touch CPU rate, then I need to go for contest. So I come for a visit, right? Huh? Yeah, so I'm in the 7th place in the preliminary round. But I also already realized because in the ICPC, right? In the ICPC, you either solve or didn't solve the problems. But in a coordination, there's actually a special rule. There's presence of the partial marks. You see, sometimes you get 50 marks, the green one, the yellow mark partial. Cannot pass all the test cases, but still got some partial marks. So you see, I realized that, you see, I solved the last problem, the first team you solve the last problem, right? You get the 250 marks, which is equivalent to doing 3 problems in the start. You see the difference, the gap. So how to take advantage of this gap? So you see, in the final, I solve the last problem. Then I get 252 marks. Then I can become a top. You see the gap between the marks between me and the second place. I got 700 marks. We got 500 marks. Why? Because I use the right strategy. In the start of the contest, I directly work on the the last problem. Even though it takes me 2 hours and 25 minutes to come up with this solution. But with this solution, right, I would say already win. Only 30 minutes, how they can solve the problem? They realize, someone solved the last problem, but I only have 30 minutes. Then you see the 3 red boxes here. So see, the right strategy makes you win before the contest. So the strategy, that's why I say thinking is more important than coding, see. Then the Monash coding even special. Because of the special test case designed by them, we don't need to do the most efficient solution, but a just enough one. Just enough is the flexible, the flexible thing that you need to learn. In the preliminary round, right, because we can check the test data, I check that although the problem states that the array can be up to a 10 to the power of 5, 100,000 numbers. But when we check the test data, the maximum one is 12 only. So like the problem just now, should I need to implement a fast solution? Maybe I can simply brute force the long solution because it's the most straightforward one. And then we can brute force all the way through our finals. Then to become the fastest winner. Like you don't need to think about. You can just straight away call the solution. So that's the advantage that we get. So I want you to know in the PLN later, think how you can know from the prelim what are the things you can learn from. What are the preferred area of the problem setters. Then train more on that areas. See, that's why I want you to know, not just practice coding, but think your strategy first. See, by knowing this fact, right, already exceed 50% of the competitive programmers. Right, like the practice tips. Many people very worry. How to practice? Practice makes perfect. I won't say that quote again. Like people ask how to practice, how to be better in the competitive programming. Many people say must practice, But so why practice? Because all the strategies just now are useless if you cannot solve a problem. You see, if I cannot solve the last problem, then what's for I targeting the last problem from the start? You see, so you need to have the capability to solve a problem in a contest. So this one I need to show you the power of practice. You see, this one is a Canadian master. He's I think a year 2 student in the MMU. The problem setter for the code nation last year. He solved over 1,000 problems.
Mr. Sam,
yes.
your slide isn't moving.
Thank you very much. Let me start sharing again. Thank you very much for your advice. Can you see the new slides? The one with the rankings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. All right. So you see, it solves the 1,000 problems. You can see it improves when you solve a problem. Then you can become the top 4%. Not the Malaysian one, Malaysian one already 0.1, 0.5%. In the the global community, 4%. You see the power of practice. Let me show you a negative example. Here's a negative example. Me lah. You see, only practicing when the contests are near. You can see a long time didn't touch the core forces. That's why I consider myself hobbies, like compared to those, the one who train like him. So I put my great respect to him, So you see, my contest rating I recently got 4 because long time didn't do a CP. Right. So that's why if you want to be good, really take your time to practice. Right now, I only solve 100 problems. Then I also don't know why I can win, sometimes. Right? Okay. But practice, right, doesn't necessarily lead to improvement. You see these two charts, some people they train, but they focus on the quantity instead of the quality. So then how to improve? You do also, you can see a very slight improvement already. Compared to two charts, you see a difference. Okay. Some of this is what I known as the naive practice. Some people they say I practice every day. I spend 5 hours doing the problems. Then when the coach asks, what are you working on the problem difficulties? I don't know. I just sort by difficulty. Start with the easiest ones. The easiest one. Print this, print that. No need to have the advanced thinking one. Then the coach asks again, do you look at the solution or you solve it completely by yourself? So you say, maybe for 1 or 2 problems I solve it by myself. Then they ask the problem, how to practice? I just practice. You see, this is a naive practice, I just practice. How to be better in maybe the badminton? I just swing the bat. Come on. I'm saying is this kind of naive practice. So I want you to have this kind of thing. Purposeful practice. To have well-defined specific goals. Not just say, I want to improve. But how you can improve? What are the knowledge you want to learn? You see, what are the things that you face from, like I don't know how to implement the dynamic programming. Then you specifically train on the dynamic programming. See, so you need to have a specific goals. And you have to be focused, give your full attention. According to research, right? A programmer when you need to interrupt from the work, the manager call you to do something. Then take at least 15 minutes, to get back the status to do some productive work. You see, so if you do the computer programming, then you do a half, you reply to a friend message, then come on very hard to improve, right? The feedback, luckily the feedback is inherent in CP. If you want to know whether you are doing right or wrong, just submit a solution and tell whether right or wrong. No need to do the exam. You need to wait for 1 month to know the answer. When you know that whether you fail or not, that's already very late. How you can improve based on your mistake, right? Then out of comfort zone. Some people they only solve the problems that they can solve. But the key to practice, right, is to solve the problems that you couldn't solve before. If you're so afraid of failure, you never succeed. Right? When you fail, right, and then you need to overcome it. When you overcome it, then you can improve. Don't just solve the easiest problem, cannot improve. Right? And where to start? Most people focus on this. That's why I put it at the end. This one also a strategy. Right? For complete beginners, like for me, 2 months before no, 1 month ago, before I realized the existence of the competitive programming, I go for LeetCode because why this most popular platforms. And it's a very friendly platform. Why? Because a user-friendly interface. You see, got the nums, you see the case 1, case 2, case 3, very modern one. Got vast learning resources. You go for YouTube, you search many resources want to teach how to solve a problem. The community are already very supportive of you when you ask a problem inside the discussion forum or something like that. You see got the editorial also. Even you are not doing CPR, LeetCode is very good for you if you want to go for the large company because they want to have technical interview. They want to solve the LeetCode problems. That's why you practice in the LeetCode, you have a better chance. But if you are the experienced programmer, right, LeetCode, I would say, not sufficient for you already. Why not sufficient? You see these two, compare these two code product. LeetCode, right, it will provide you with methods with the known data types. So you see a provider already, the integer, the target. But in a real CP, right, they want you to read the file from the standard in IO. Like you need to know how many numbers to read. Like in Java, you need to read from the standard system.in and then print out the answer, not return from a function. So that's the key lah. Why? Because you need to know how to handle the data. Like you do you want to store it in a linked list, array list, maybe priority queue, and do you want to the integer data type or the long data type? Because otherwise we'll have what overflow issues. These are the things you need to think. So if you want to go for CP, I recommend to you to use the code forces. Why? Because the code force, right, it got the frequent contest in ICPC format, which is the same format as the PLN lah. And then you got a deep problem complexity and diversity. Many problems for you to try. Then you got dynamic rating system. Because for the other platforms, maybe they evaluate you based on the number of problems you solve. But for this one, code forces is more harsh on that because it's based on your performance in a contest. So if you do something wrong, then the rating will drop. So you see, like I showed the chat just now, when I cannot perform well in a contest, then my rating will drop. Just like playing the mobile games, Dota, play rank battles, right? So you can see, you have those ELO ratings. So if you want to improve, right, try to join few contests in the code forces. Once you got the the basics If you are complete beginners, maybe you can start with the lead code first. Get some basic understanding of the data structures and the algorithms. Like so people when they go for the code forces, because the code forces, the user interface is not friendly as a lead code, so they quickly give up on that. So I would recommend you to go for lead codes. First, I have complete beginners. Or you want to do for the CAPTIS. Why I want to recommend CAPTIS? Because it's a real contest problems. You see these problem sources, all are from those ICPC past year problems. So if you want to train for ICPC, the CAPTIS is also a good place for you. Good place. Right. Team tips. Apes together strong. 3 heads are better than 1. If you want to go for ICPC, you must train as a team, not just individual. It will combine the strengths, how to, distribute, allocate the resources, the computer. Right. So this one, if you train individually, you cannot train this skill. Yeah. Right. So this is the end of my session 2. But even though the workshop, right, it's now maybe over, but I hope it's the beginning for your journey in CP. You see, just now you face some challenges, right? I hope you can overcome the hurdles, and I can see your name in the PLN finals later, right? And I got a very friendly thank you note from the PLN 2024 director. He says because before this only got 20 participants in teams, then I very worried I want to get more participants so that I can share the CP knowledge to more people. But he said, I don't want you to hit the KPI. No. I want you knowledge sharing. I record your video, This one, what you do, it's a voluntary help. You should be happy, I already give you already 50 ringgit, So stressed having you as a speaker. You see, very friendly thank you I get for the the value I produce for this workshop. Right. Good. So now it's a time for the Q&A session, which I will give back the session, the floor back to the MC. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Mr. Sam, for such an illuminating talk. Your presentation has provided us with valuable insights into these fundamental concepts and their significance in solving real-world problems. Before we proceed to the Q&A session, if any of the participants who would wish to continue on the mini contest, please kindly take a screenshot of the QR code right now as we will not display it again. After today's talk by Mr. Sam Wei Hong, I'm sure that the participants might have numerous questions for Mr. Sam, and he will address them shortly. We will begin with the first questions, which is, how would you recommend me practice CP, Mr. Sam?
That problem, right, I believe is asked before my second session. So in the second session just now, I already explained where you should start. You should know where is your skill level first. Because some kind you need to know what is the weakness you are facing right now. Because some kind of problems, right, is that it's either you didn't know about the knowledge that needed, like need to implement a segment tree, but I never learned segment tree before. Even worse, you need to use a hash map. But in the UM, I never taught you about the hash map in the data structure. So you need to know what is the thing you are missing. And then based on the thing you're missing, you go to find the problems based on that topic and then solve based on it. Then only you can improve your skills on that topic. So the most important thing I would say is to find the thing you are missing first. Whether you don't know about the thing, if you don't know about the thing, go look for the resources, maybe the YouTube videos. if you instead you didn't not skill, not master the knowledge yet. You know the knowledge, but you don't know how to to apply the knowledge. Like the maybe the bubble sort in a programming course. Some people they can only memorize the code, copy down. Then when the programmer asks, can you reverse the array? If I want to sort the string, how to modify the numbers? So this is not about the knowledge, but how you can understand the knowledge well enough to be able to configure it. So the thing is, you need to know what is the thing you are missing. Hopefully this answers the problem, right?
All right, thank you, Mr. Sam. The next question is, confused whether to use Java or Python and start to practice. Help.
This one I think is more based on because if you're the complete beginners I mentioned just now, right, is you got experience in programming, but not in competitive programming. So if you're already got some basics in the language, like in UM, we are already learning about Java. Maybe you can continue to use Java to learn the basic data structures because it's already enough, right? For the closed category, but even for open, it's enough because it's actually similar to the C++ one, just that you need to write longer code. So, but if you don't want to learn a new language, it's fine to continue to use Java. But if you're very serious about the competitive programming, right, I will recommend you to use C++ instead. Okay.
All right. The next question is alternative to lead code.
Oh, it's called Forces and a Katis. And for the, the just now I mentioned about the tourist, you can check all those platforms. If you want to overtake him in those 5 platforms, then you can go try about that. But the top 2 choices is for me is the Code Forces and the Katis, right?
Another question is, as a beginner, what would you recommend us to start learning and practicing CP?
I think I answered the problem already in the second session. So maybe you can review the video later once the recording is released to the public. I already record the video, right?
All right. The next question is, can you explain the marks counting rule of this PLN, both preliminary and final? Do we need to pass all the test cases to score? What happened if did not pass? The answer I can the answer here is we will reveal more details regarding to questions like this in the following workshop, which is workshop 2 attached with the competition briefing. Stay tuned and feel free to visit our official websites. So the next question is how to reach Grandmaster on Codforce.
For me, as the hobbies specialist, I can't tell much about it. Maybe you can have some advice from the experts, grandmasters, the actual grandmasters on the core forces. But the thing is the same. The thing they will tell you is practice. The 4 principles of the purposeful practice, I already tell you. You need to implement it well, then you can improve further on the core forces. So the key is here is practice makes perfect, but not just quantity of the practice, quality practice.
All right, the next question is what is the hardest problem you solve?
Hardest problem I stop. Very good problem. I think is I don't think I remember that. That's the thing. I don't think I remember. I have maybe I can ask you a problem. What is the hardest mathematical problem you solve? What is the hardest FOP problem you solve? Because this kind of problem very hard to answer, right? Yeah, because it's the hardest problem, so it's very hard to answer. That's the answer.
So we go next question. What are the common hurdles participants face when competing in PLN?
That's a very good questions over here. The hurdles. What is the hurdles the participants? One is that they lack of training. Some kind of teammate, they like to bluff one. I can solve a high level problems. But in the actual contest, even the most simplest problem they also struggle to solve. So they need to give you the wrong expectations. Then you produce the wrong strategy. With the wrong strategy, they won't get any good outcomes one. So this is the one hurdle that most people face. Another one is the lack of practice. Okay.
All right. The next question is how can I take my competitive programming skills to the next level?
Next level. by practicing. You see, you never improve your code. You cannot just watch the people solving the problems. You need to yourself actually involved in the problem solving. Process yourself. Then only you can improve. And not just to solve the problem you know, solve the problem you doesn't know. Oh, okay.
Okay, for the next question. Hi, will the slides and workshop recording be shared later? The answer is yes. So, the next question is, how do one become a professional competitive programmer? Is it only just by spending a lot of time on solving coding questions?
I would say the answer is yes. Why? It's just not because some people they say people are talented, but other from that talent, is the hard work you didn't see in the behind the scenes of their training. Like the master, the Canadian master, currently the top programmers, I would say, in the university level, he solved 1,000 problems. Then I want to ask how many problems you solve. And the tourist, he start doing CP since the age of 11. Until now, you can imagine how many problems he solved. Maybe over 1,000,000 already. That's why he's the most professional programmer right now. Okay.
All right, thank you. The next question is, how can I test my code before submitting? How to test code so that I can get more test case correct?
Oh, that's a very, very good question right here. This one is my honest question, my honest response. Okay, just now I may not show you more extensive enough about the part where you want to try to test your code, but it's actually very similar to the part where you want to in your programming course you type something inside the standard input and you get the output from the terminal. So for this one, right, you need to have usually I have a separate file to put the input, and then I run the compiler, run the file, execute it, and then I get the output. So this is the part, this is how to test the code. For your second question is how to test so that you get more test case correct. For this one, because the test cases are hidden, right? You need to figure out those are the corner cases. So like in the worksheet, I mentioned 2 corner cases, right? One is that the number of chickens is smaller than the secret numbers. You see, someone said he already kena that already. So you need to read the description properly. The range are provided for a reason, you need to see whether the data can be the smallest. Usually the bug is already happen when the data is the smallest and the largest. This is also illustrated in the example of the time limit exceeded one. What's the time limit exceeded one? I say 50,000 chickens, but one smaller secret number. You see, this kind of the extreme cases is usually the one that can make your program fails. When your program fails, then only you can improve it. Right?
All right. The next question is, as a hobbyist, how hard you train to reach this level?
This one I'm quite shy to say this one, because I think until now it's because the CP community in Malaysia I think it's still kind of underdeveloped. If my kind of the training level, I go for other countries, I already found nobody already, 404 no found. But because not much people, they actually spend time in this CP area. That's why hobbies like me got some kind of the luck to go on the top of the leaderboard. See? So I hope when the people here spend some time in the CP one. Like before this, I think 1 month then get the champion already. So you can see if you can really spend some quality time with the maybe the CP platform, then I will assure you it really can improve one, get a top ranking.
All right. The next question is, are you joining PLN?
Yes, I already say in the workshop just now. Why? Because it's my final year. If I didn't join, then the last year will be my final year. I think it's very fruitful, the cash prize, 5,000 ringgit. Hopefully we can get a touch of it. Okay.
Thank you. The next
Yes.
question is, how to count penalty?
And the count of penalty, I think is also mentioned in the workshop just now, is the thing that most people confuse is the time is calculated not from the time you solve the last problem, but the time since the contest started. So that's why I always emphasize just now, read all the problems to find the simplest problem. This kind of interview for those world finals contestants. They ask, what is the first thing you do when the contest start? And most of them answer the same question, provide the same answer. They read all the problems first, right? And then the penalty is the time to solve each problem, like the one I said just now, it's the time consumed from the time you submit the right solution from the beginning, and then you add 20. This is for the ICPC postman. Some they maybe put 10 or maybe no penalty. This one based on the specific rules of the competition you are joining. So if for usual one like the PLN last year or the ICPC is the 20 minutes for each wrong submissions. But I also want to emphasize that the wrong submission, the penalty is only counted when the solution is accepted. If you at the end you couldn't even solve the problem, you submit 50 wrong submissions, still cannot solve the problems. The 50 wrong submissions does not create an impact on your penalty, right?
Thank you. The next question is, do you recommend using C++ or Java in the CP? I'm studying Java in my university and know only a little bit about C++.
I think that is based on whether how much you are willing to be devoted in the field of CP because most the C++ compared to Java is in the the more regular real world like the software engineering usually you need to do Java backend more. So if you are really serious about the C++, then only sorry, not very serious about the competitive programming, then I recommend you do C++. In the first year, right, during the first contest, in the Code Nation last year, I used Java. And when I'm using Java, I always get frustrated with verbose language. The hash map integer equal to new hash map. That things like in C++ is just a few lines only. And then for C++, there are also some kind of shortcuts. What are the shortcuts? You can redefine the words. Like if previously the word is pushback, right? You can actually create a shortcut for it. Type PB for the pushback. This is a shortcut that you can define yourself. So this even makes your typing code, the time for typing code even shorter. So this depends whether you want to, just want to become familiar with the CP or very serious, want to go for the national contest level.
Right, thank you. The next question is, what IDE you recommended? Because I always use Dev C++.
For me, I think, okay, so in the ICPC, right, let me give the example from the real world contest. People are using maybe the C Lion for the C++ because most people are using C++ anyways. But some of them, they are using the IDE, the text editor, like the VS Code I'm using just now. So like the VS Code just now, what is the benefit is that it's very lightweight. You don't need to wait for the IDE to take a large memory in your RAM. So even you have only a notepad and a C++, a G++ compiler is already enough for the competitive programming already. So that the most important thing is your solution. The IDE based on your comfort only.
All right, thank you. The question is, if I do not have knowledge about C++, but I'm familiar with Java and Python, is it recommendable to learn C++ now and use it in CP?
And like what I mentioned previously, this one is based on how much you are willing to put your efforts inside the competitive programming. If you really want to become especially for first year, because the more earlier you are joining the CP, the larger the advantage for you to start learning C++ as soon as possible. Before this, when I use Java, I always face the runtime issue. But when I'm using C++, I would say I'm much more efficient than using Java. So it's based on you, right?
All right, thank you. The next question is, are we only allowed to use only one computer per team in PLN 2024 preliminary and final round? The answer is 3 on laptops are allowed. Next question. When you got something you stuck or you don't know how to answer, what do you do?
So that's I think it's very similar to the first problem I answered. Like you don't know how to answer. You need to understand why you don't know how to answer. Check its solution. You see, if you really can't solve the problem, right, it's okay to check the solution, but not check for copy paste. Check for learning. What is the point you're missing? Maybe there was some kind of idea you didn't think before. Like just now the fast IO, right? I would say during my the first year when I competing for the PLN close category, I don't know about fast IO. Maybe that. But if I don't check a solution, will I realize the existence of the fast IO? I don't think so lah. So you need to know what is the point you're missing. You learn from the solution. Is it because you cannot think the idea? You are not master enough about that knowledge, or your langsung totally doesn't know that concept even exists lah. Then you go to learn the concept lor. So it's the same thing just now. Know what is the thing you're missing.
All right, thank you. The next question is how to learn linked list data structure without giving up.
Oh, this one because for the PERCOM, right, actually previously is actually host the CP workshop regarding on the linked list data structure. So maybe you can join the workshop. Maybe you can get some kind of good learning tips on how to study on the linked list data structure and maybe even apply it in competitive programming. But I would say this problem I can provide you a 3-word answer: never give up.
All right. The next question is how quality 1 hour, 100 minutes, that kind of quality?
Yeah, that is. I think that is more kind of the quantity. I think quality is how many effort you actually put in that. That hours. Not just playing phones and then look at the computer. You just reply to a friend's message. You need to make sure you are totally engaged in the problem solving itself. Get kind of the flow mindset. So that is the quality time, right?
All right. The next question is could you suggest some CP competition for Malaysia undergraduate except from PLN, Connection and Monash Coding League, as I'm keen on joining CP competition?
The one that provided is those major ones. The PP.com, the one that caused the PLN preliminary round to be hosted in the evening, right? That is also another contest for the undergraduate. But it also allows the secondary students to join. I also learned about this contest recently. For this, I don't think I can share much information on that because because I didn't know about this contest as well. Right? Maybe you can go for those. You can ask about those universities whether they are hosting any competition like this or not. Right? But if you want to go for the quality contest, I would recommend you to join online contests on Code Forces.
All right, thank you. The next question is how do I print hello world in C++?
This one, I think you can put the problem inside the chat GPT. Then I think you can provide a very good quality solution to this problem, right?
All right. The next question is what do you think about using Rust for CP?
I think if the programming contest itself, right, is supporting the usage of Rust language, then why not? But I want to remind you that in the ICPC, the most prestigious contest only allow for 4 languages: C, C, C++, sorry, 5 languages: C, C++, Java, Kotlin, and Python. The 3 major languages I say just now. So if you want to go further, go for the world finals, then if you use Rust, then I think there's some kind of difficulty because you need to pick up other language as well. But the most important thing, right? I think many people confuse here. What is the best language? Like the problem just now, I want to find the minimum number. Is it because of the programming language that you use that makes you cannot solve the problem? I don't think so, right? So programming languages, although it has an impact, but the thing that has a larger impact is the idea, the algorithms, how much you spend time in practicing, right?
All right, thank you. Next question is sorry, we still can use 3 computers in final round or just only 1? The answer is participants are allowed to use 3 on laptops. Next question is how to become a world-class competitive programmer?
That's a very good problem because of the word world class. You see, many people they want to aim for the first class, but my professor he tell me don't aim for first class. You aim for what? The world class, the most highest standards, the world finest. So you want to go for the world class. It's also the same thing. Practice, but practice much more than the hobbies like me. Takes much more quality time. You need to make some sacrifice to become better in CP. Right? You cannot just think expect I don't sacrifice anything, then I can become better in the CP, unless you got very, very big talent, right?
All right, the next question is What is your job scope as a teaching assistant in university?
Is this related to the CP? I think that teaching assistant in university, I think this problem is not related to competitive programming. So I want to defer it to answer it.
All right, thank you. The next question is, can participating in CP makes me able to solve world-class real-life problem?
Yeah, especially when you're working as a software engineer, right? Then the problems is literally the real world problems you are actually facing. So you see, the CP right actually covers some kind of the niche areas. When you are doing usually the hackathons, the software engineer, what are you mostly focusing? The connection of the database, those sorting an array. But I would say you see, most people they use array list for everything. I want to have a dynamic data structure that I can pick out the smallest or the largest value at the runtime efficiently. Many people, they do what? They do the array list. When I want the smallest value, sort it, get the smallest value because it's in the first index. When I want the largest value, again, the last index. This is the thing they are missing, That's the CP can teach us. Is the usage of the advanced data structure. Because usually they don't have the chance to, be in contact with this kind of data structure. But only in CP, because CP is more, the algorithmic. So it got more chances for you to get in touch with this type of niche areas.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sam. I guess that marks the end of our Q&A session. A huge thank you to Mr. Sam for taking time out of his packed schedule to make Programming League National 2024 first workshop an immense success. We cannot express our gratitude enough. Now, we would like to invite everyone to take a group photo. Please turn on your cameras and give us your brightest smile. Okay, we are now ready. 1, 2, 3, smile. And freestyle. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. At last, Programming League National 2024 first workshop has come to an end. We would like to express our deepest gratitude to Mr. Sam Wei Hong, our speaker for today. Not to forget everyone who participated in this workshop to make it a success. Please remember to fill in the feedback form by clicking on the link in the Q&A box below or scanning the QR code on your screen. Your feedback is highly appreciated. I would like to remind every participant to join the Programming League National 2024 second workshop on the 29th April 2024 from 7:45 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. We have invited Mr. Muhammad Shohada Al-Din. He will be talking about graphs and related algorithms. Moreover, a competition briefing will be done after the workshop sessions have ended. So please, don't forget to mark your calendars for 29 April 2024. Before we dismiss, remember to follow us on all our social media platforms for up-to-date information on Programming League National 2024. You can now follow us on Instagram, Programming League, and on Facebook, Programming League National 2024. I'm Charlie, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.
can fly with a matter to you, like I say I do. So get up, I don't wanna fight your shadow, baby, that can fly with a matter. Look at some new me, switched it up, new face, booty bump, new jeans, so fresh, so clean. I'm the one, 기다렸던 날, 드디어 찾았어. 또 한 번 더, ready for sure, to have some more. New hair, new tea, new jeans, do you see? New hair, new tea, new jeans, do you see? New hair, new tea, new jeans, do you see? New hair, new tea, new jeans, do you see? Make it feel like a game. Look at us, we go on and on again. We'll go on to the end. What we wanna do on and on again. Make it feel like a game. Look at us, we go on and on again. We'll go on to the end. What we wanna do on and on again. Look at the new me, switched it up, new stitched it up, new jeans, so fresh, so clean. 얼마나 기다렸던 날, 드디어 feeling so right. 또 한 번 더, I need to know you want some more. New hair, new tea, new jeans, you and me. New hair, new tea, new jeans, you and me. New hair, new tea, new jeans, you and me. New hair, new tea, new jeans, you and me. Baby, I'm just trying to play, but I just can't hide that. Wait a minute, 이게 뭐지? 내 심장이 랍다. 자꾸만 뛰어, 저 멀리서도 oh my gosh, 그런 거야. My crush, 손은 개처럼 어디 앉아서 기댄 것만 같은.
Yeah, thank you, Samuel Hong, for coming for my workshop, and I really appreciate for you to doing this hard work for preparing all the content for my participants of PLN. And if any offense to you, and I'm truly sorry for that. And also, and thank you for coming. I think that's already.